Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to what would be another TED Youth Talk for you all. I am George Pothan, and I am here to talk about resilience. Well, if at all anything, having survived the year gone by, there isn't a better example of being resilient. And what 2020 has taught us is that sometimes even the best laid out plans do not work for you. Difficulties are inevitable. Therefore, it is important to be resilient. During childhood, I always enjoyed reading books. But there are a few books which had a real impact on me. These were biographies. Biographies of Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Emily Pankhurst, and Franklin Roosevelt. Four people from four different walks of life who had different goals. Mahatma Gandhi's goal was to attain absolute freedom from the mighty British regime, an empire where the sun was said to have never set. Nelson Mandela wanted the apartheid in South Africa to end. Pankhurst wanted women in England to have a right to vote, a right only afforded to men back in the days. Franklin Roosevelt, a man suffering from polio, wanted to seek the highest office in his country, and he did so by going on to become the President of the United States, not once, not twice, but 4 times. Going down in history as the longest serving President of the United States. These were not people who had life on a bed of roses. They are people who faced a lot of challenges, people who faced different adversities with different times. But it is their resilience or the resilient nature which helped them achieve their goals against all odds. So now again, the question to me that you would have is, what is it to be resilient? It isn't a term I can define definitively, but resilience has most frequently been defined as the positive adaptation despite adversity. To put it in simpler terms, I would say when one is faced with adversity, misfortune, or frustrated, it is the resilience in one or being resilient that helps us bounce back. It helps us survive, recover, and at times even thrive. It helps us thrive in the wake of misfortune. Well, that isn't all that is there to it. Most often, we equate being resilient or gritty to means of being tough and determined. Most of us, or rather a majority of us, believe that the longer we tough it out, the tougher we are. And therefore, the more successful one would be. To me, this concept appears flawed. To me, it isn't how long you work or how hard you work. Of course, hard work is important, but it's not just hard work. It's the way you work. It's not how long you work, but the way you work that matters. Resilience is not something that you're born with. It's something that's acquired. It's a toolkit that one acquires or a skill set that one acquires. And it's acquired from one's exposure to tough situations. How we cope with tough situations depends on what our resilience toolkit or our resilience skill sets are. For some, this toolbox are products outlawed. For some, it is substances not outlawed, but perhaps not appropriate. Well, these are setting short-term goals. This is not what resilience is about. This might help you survive the day, survive the hour, but not survive in life. The tool of the resilient person is optimism, being optimistic. But being optimistic and also realistic is what matters. The concept of being resilient and optimistic comes with certain other key factors to it. It involves having a moral compass, being religious or spiritual, having a cognitive and emotional flexibility, and social correctness. The most resilient among us are the people who generally don't dwell in the negativities. It's the people who look at the positivities around you. Even in the darkest of rooms, look out for that shiny little flame in some corner, or be that flame, be that light in the darkness. For example, during the lockdown, perhaps when almost the entire universe or the planet had come to a standstill, all of us, or rather most of us, were confined to our four walls. Well, this could be a breaking point in many lives. But someone who looks at the positivities would look for the window of opportunity even in that confinement within your four walls. So how do you build resilience? There are certain parameters that can help you build resilience. To me, they are to strive to find the positive within the negative, to have a realistic outlook. One also has to have a proper sense to differentiate between what is right and what is wrong. That means to have a moral compass. You ought to believe in yourself and believe in something. You need to have a life of purpose. Be altruistic. Dedicate yourself for a cause, not just for yourself, but a cause for the greater good of society. And that's where you would be remembered. That's how the four biographies, the four individuals I spoke about, they are remembered. We are all mortal beings, but our resilience can set the tone to immortalize our names, our lives for generations to come. In conclusion, I would like to say, live life, live it to the fullest, but with a purpose. And such purpose should be a meaningful purpose for the greater good of society. And to achieve this, look out through the window of opportunities and work towards achieving your goal. Take on the challenges head on. Don't break out. Don't break up. Fight till the end. Stay true to yourself. Have that flame in you to stand up for what you want to. And hopefully we all achieve our goals. Thank you.